This episode of This Week in Geek is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com. Welcome to Live at the Blue Box. It is now time for This Week in Geek for, boy, I feel like we've done this before, July 9th, 2016.
Deja vu.
Yeah, and it's a weird night. We've got the Lil Puppet, we've got the Chris Cup, we've got the Edward Puppet. Oh, no, wait a minute.
I'm real. Hello.
Apparently.
I know it's a disappointment, but yes.
I'm a real boy. It's working? All right. And I'm Rob Southgate. Edward, what shows are you on?
This Week in Geek.
Geek Duel when we do it.
If
Might
you
be doing it tonight.
Maybe
tonight.
And I don't know what else.
Okay, stuff. And
Stuff.
and I'm on all sorts of stuff too. New Media Lab and Orange is the New Black podcast. That one's lighting it up. And co-owner of Southgate Media Group. So next weekend we are having a microcon here. It is called the Postmania Con. And we're going to have a whole bunch of comic artists and writers and possibly podcasters and stuff for that, too. That's at the Elgin Library.
And it is next week.
Yes, it's next week.
16th.
And it's called Comic Book Mania, and they're doing all sorts of Star Wars stuff. And I have to reach out because I know the head of the garrison of the 501st here, and they're going to have people out there to see if he can come out next week. We might be full of stormtroopers. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
I bet Nathan will wear his Star Wars stuff.
I don't
If he's
think
not all
think you
Pokemon.
could stop. No, yeah, that's true. Pokemon.
Right. Now he's all Pokemon. So, all right, let's jump into this. It's a weird week for news.
It is.
First of all, there's not a lot. Second of all, I didn't do hardly any homework because we were so busy. I started my master's program this week.
Okay.
Yeah, time slipped away, and then now I'm up here with an iPad. So we're going to just kind of be casual with this. This will be the first time. This is the first time we're doing it just the two of us, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. We're not going to make fun of or do our Will Smith jokes again.
No.
Good.
Because
they
it was
weren't
just-
funny the first time.
They weren't.
What? My mom. Come on. So, all right. You got one you want to start with?
What's a good one to start with? All right, let's start with a trailer. There's one that I actually thought was interesting. It's Daniel Radcliffe. It's Imperium.
Oh, wait. What's this? I thought you were going to say Swiss Army Man.
No, because it's Daniel Radcliffe. He goes and he's
Imperium, it's called?
Imperium. He's part of an FBI group investigating neo-Nazis. So he goes in, pretends to be one of the neo-Nazis, and it's about like pretty much terrorists in this day. Daniel Radcliffe figuring out how to deal with white supremacists and stuff like that throughout the whole movie. Seems interesting.
Yeah. I'm looking at the poster here. Defend your nation, become your enemy. You know, and Toni Collette's in it, too. She's really awesome. See any other details on this? This looks really cool. He has put together quite an interesting career. I mean,
and
we all look at him
doing
as
it very quick succession now because it was Harry Potter, and there was nothing until...
No, he did a couple of like horror movies. He did The Woman in Black. He did Horns. So he did do stuff in there, but it seems like all of a sudden he's getting more and more. And I love what he's doing with his career because it's kind of skating that like indie film thing, which is what Johnny Depp did to build his career. You know, Johnny Depp, everyone knows him now, like, oh, he's Johnny Depp. But when he first came out, he was on 21 Jump Street. He was like, the pretty boy on that. And then he did a bunch of like kind of odd movies. He did some Tim Burton stuff. Like, he grew his career by working with a lot of indie directors and taking really risky, weird roles. Daniel Radcliffe's doing the same thing.
Yes, because of Swiss Army Man.
I mean, he's doing Weekend at Bernie's 4. He's doing Swiss Army Man.
It's Weekend at Bernie's half because there's only one guy with him.
That's right. So he's doing that. Like, Horns is really interesting.
Okay.
He keeps having to shave his horns down. Woman in Black was pretty scary, like traditional Hammer ghost story. I mean, this is like interesting stuff. So, and I like this. His Imperium looks really cool, man. And he looks tough.
It does. It's
Little Harry Potter, all tough.
very.
I'm sure he loves that.
It's a very interesting movie. It's not a movie to go and like, oh, I want to see fun. It's definitely
Not going to be fun.
No.
It's like, did you ever see Well, you haven't seen this. American History X? That's the one with what's his name? He was the Hulk. What was it? Ed Norton, where he plays the skinhead Nazi. And it's like, yeah, that's not a good family-friendly film. No. Although Disney is remaking it as a live action. No, I'm kidding. That was a joke just for you, Edward.
Thank you.
So, yeah. Man,
Yeah.
that looks cool. I'm going to have to check that one out. I got one.
Go ahead.
This one, I think, we always say this, where there's smoke, there's fire, right?
Oh.
I always
yeah.
say that. There is definitely smoke to this one. I think it's interesting because a lot of times the big trend is actors and actresses that want to get certain roles or want to get involved in things will keep throwing their name out there. I am interested in blank. The person who really opened that door was Sam Jackson. He went on a tear to get in Star Wars, and he ended up being a character in Star Wars because it was like every time he was interviewed, I want to be in Star Wars. That's my life goal is to be in Star Wars. He ends up as Mace Windu, right?
Yeah.
This has become a trend. A lot of actors do this, so it gets released. Well, this one is the right casting, and I'm telling you, the reason I say there's smoke is do not be surprised if this does not, if something doesn't happen with this. Anna Kendrick has put out there that she wants to play Squirrel Girl. Now, I have talked about this before. People think I'm nuts that Squirrel Girl, like, they would never make that. I am telling you, they are going to make a Squirrel Girl.
But do you think it's going to be? Well, it's not going to be a
she
main
is
movie.
Perfect casting for it. The time is right for it. It's not going to be a big MCU, but look at Ant-Man. Ant-Man was funny. It was quirky. This is this would be Marvel making a kids movie. It's perfect.
But I don't think they're going to do that. I think they just might do a Squirrel Girl and a co-person and a co-character in Avengers.
Sure. Well, she would play Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, but I don't
see,
think
I don't think Squirrel Girl is going to show up in Avengers or any of that stuff.
I don't think they're
I
gonna
think it's
make-
going to be maybe a Netflix movie instead of an 8-picture thing. Netflix would be really smart to get in bed with Marvel and say, you know what, we've got these high concept shows. We've got Daredevil and Luke Cage, but we don't need to commit to that. We can take properties like Howard the Duck and do an hour and a half or 2-hour one-shot movie of these one-off characters that, you know, they're part of Marvel. Technically, they're part of the MCU, but they never have to cross the streams. And Squirrel Girl would be perfect for that. And think about it. They do this with their movies. They have, you know, Captain America's a spy thriller. You know, Iron Man is you know, a superhero movie.
Yes.
You know, each of these have a specific thing. This, and Thor is like fantasy,
It
right?
is. Yeah, it's 100% fantasy.
Squirrel Girl, there's their kids' movie. That's live action. I mean, they already had Big Hero 6, but there's their live action. And I'm telling you, Anna Kendrick, like, look at the pictures of her. Every time I look at her, I'm like, she is that character.
And she's just coming out of a lot of movies now.
Yes.
She's in a bunch.
Oh, she's hot with, like, I don't mean hot that way. I mean, she's hot as far as getting hired. Her career is hot. Thank you, Martha, before I step in that pothole. Because, like, Pitch Perfect, she's really popular from that. She's been in other, I can't think of other things she's
been in really recent ones.
Really recent stuff.
Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates.
She's in that?
Yes.
Is she?
Yeah, she is.
I didn't know she was in that.
One of the two girls, right?
Anna Kendrick is? Because I know that Audrey Plaza is. Yeah, I think she is. I think you're right. Well, anyway.
Anna Kendrick, I am right.
You rock, man. You got one right about an
I
extras.
know.
Mark this day.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And she's also in a new one, Table 19.
No applause from the Lil Puppet.
No,
He'll never.
No.
He'll never.
She's also in a new movie, Table 19.
Table 19.
Yeah, it's a new trailer that I'll talk about later. So we don't.
Let's talk about it now. What is it?
It's the table that in a wedding that no one wants them to come.
Oh, Mark,
people that
we'll be sitting at table 19.
It's a table where no one wants you to come. It's just they're sending invites just to be nice.
Yeah, when they don't really want you to come, they sent you at table 19. So start taking note.
So it's a comedy romance movie.
Okay.
Seems it's not going to be great. It seems okay.
Not going to be great. This is coming from Edward. It's a
Also,
rom-com.
Yeah.
You never know.
Also has Craig Robinson.
Craig Robinson. His track record's not great. I like him, but his track record's not great.
No, but he seems okay in it.
Okay. All right, man. Well, you know what? Once again, I like her. And for a rom-com, I think she's perfect for that. Okay. I had more. Oh! This is one you're not going to care about. But there are people in this audience that will. A poster dropped this week. I got to find the name of it, though. A poster dropped, and it was not... I mean, we talk about this stuff every week, right? This one would have been prime for us to talk about, so I'm so surprised it got past us. Jerry Lewis has a new movie coming out. Here it is. Jerry Lewis. I would have said, Mom, look it up and see if he's alive, but he is. He's got a movie called Max Rose. And a poster came out for it. So, nobody knew about this. I don't even know if the people that made it knew about it. It's called Max Rose, The Legend is Back. It's coming out New York, September 2nd, Los Angeles, September 9th, and then worldwide, I'm sure. Worldwide at Redbox. He plays like an aging jazz piano player whose wife passed away, and he finds out that they have lived their life together was a lie the whole time. So it's probably that she had another husband or something, and it's all about like him like bouncing back after this. Things like that, you never know. This might be something where we all start going, this was a great movie, or we might go, why didn't he stay away? Like if he shows up and he's got the big teeth like he did. Remember that one he did in the 80s when he tried to make a comeback? And he was still doing his like Japanese character with the big teeth, and you're like, seriously, Jerry? It's unbelievable. What if he does that? I might see that. That might get me.
I think you're going to see it anyways.
Do you know who Jerry Lewis is?
I do not. I don't think.
Seriously?
I might know him, but you know how bad I am with.
You never heard of Martin and Lewis?
No.
No, you wouldn't have heard of Martin and Lewis. Cinderfella? I know I've made reference to Cinderfella here. You don't know who that is?
Nope.
Molly saw Cinderfella. He'd go like this, lady, gliving. No?
Oh, gosh. I see a... Okay,
well, Jerry Lewis is back. He's going to be bigger than Pogs. All right. What do you got, Edward?
So DC is releasing a Flintstones comic book.
Now, that's part of that. Is that part of that relaunch?
Yeah, it's the rebirth.
Okay. No, the rebirth of DC. It's the rebirth of the Hanna-Barbera stuff where they're doing... I didn't know that was DC, but I knew they were redoing Scooby-Doo and the Flintstones and Johnny Quest.
I was just watching some of like DC like overview, and it was they were talking about some other stuff and Flintstones comic book. The art in it looks recent. It doesn't look cartoonish. It looks
like realistic.
No, kind of realistic. It's still
so like Fred is actually missing teeth and has gout.
No, it's still kiddish, but I like the art.
Did it look cool?
It does. It actually looks really cool.
Is it in here? Do I need to look at it?
No, it's on there. It's in a video.
Okay, well, I'm not looking up a video right now.
Nope.
We're doing a show, Edward, please. So is it just Flintstones, or did they show some of the other stuff?
I actually don't know. The one that I watched just before this was just a quick overview of the DC stuff coming out this week.
Okay.
And it was the Batman Killing Joke, a clip of that.
The movie?
Yes.
Now, is that coming out this week?
This week, no, the clip came out this week. It's coming out in the future.
Because I'm still on the fence about that. The trailer that they showed, that pre-trailer, I thought the animation looked terrible. I thought it looked like it was like instead of 60 frames a second, it was like, or animation is usually 24 frames a second? It was like 4 frames a second. It was like watching the real Ghostbusters. You remember that show? No, you don't. It was ridiculous. It was like 4 frames a second that moved like this.
It was really bad because the one I watched.
And that's how this looked, too.
They showed a part where they immediately leaked a whole part of the plot. The clip they released was pretty bad. It's when Batman visits Joker in a cell.
Okay.
He touches his arm. He comes away with white stuff on his hands.
Right.
Clip ends. You know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah. Well, I've read The Killing Joke, so you know exactly what's going to happen. And it's going to be an R-rated animated feature from them. Now, I hope... Oh.
Art's like that.
All right.
It's okay.
All right. I'll check it out. I check everything out.
Yeah.
But
the animation, the frames per second did not look good.
I hope that by the time we actually see the film that's different because, I mean, this is a big property for them, especially doing Killing Joke. It's kind of like when they did the Batman
Red
Returns.
Hood? Okay.
No, the Batman Returns. Red Hood was actually pretty good. That one looked like Batman the Animated Series as far, not the character design, but the quality of what you were seeing, where they use black paper as the backdrop, so that brings the blacks way out. That was the trick on that show. With The Dark Knight Returns, they knew that was a major property for them. So when you watch those, it's 2 films. They are excellent. They're 2 of the best Batman films.
Okay.
They look great. They sound great. The animation's good. It's not Pixar level, but for a home video release, it's amazing. That's what they need to do with Killing Joke, and I hope that when we finally see the final product, that's what we get.
See, but what I don't like is they released a clip of the movie that wasn't great.
Right.
They should have released the best of the best that they had.
It's like, did you see the Flashpoint Paradox?
Yes.
The story in that is excellent.
It's great.
And the movie was honestly excellent, but the animation was kind of rough.
I did not. I read the comic. I saw a little bit of the movie, though.
The movie, they do a great job in the movie. But the animation's rough. It's almost that, like, real Ghostbusters animation at times, and you're going, why?
I guess they're more focused on the art of it.
I think they're more focused on not spending the money.
Yeah, not the animation.
That's expensive. You know?
Yeah.
But these are big properties. Get them right. People will buy them. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have?
I have a quick little thing.
Yeah.
They made a Doom, the BFG gun. Just
For
a
what?
life-size, like a Doom gun.
Just because, the BFG?
Yeah, they just made one of the guns, that gun lifelike.
Okay.
So they used it from the game, and they try to match it up. And it just is really cool. If you like Doom, it's a nice...
So somebody has made
guns.
one.
Yeah.
It's one of these realistic props you can get.
It's huge. It's a 1-to-1 scale. It's a huge gun. Takes 2 people to hold it correctly.
Marth, let's sell the car and get that. That sounds awesome.
No.
For the movie BFG. It's the big friendly giant from Roald Dahl. But we're talking about the big friendly gun.
Yeah.
Only it's not friendly. Yeah. Yeah. I actually am more interested in the guy that built the giant Nerf gun that shoots pool noodles as Nerf bullets. And that thing is amazing.
It is.
If you haven't seen that video, look it up. It's so cool.
They're also making a statue for the San Diego Comic-Con of Captain America.
Okay.
It's just going to be at San Diego. It's just a big statue of Captain America.
All right. Agent of Hydra. Does it say that?
It doesn't. It's about Bucky Barnes. It looks like not a tombstone, like a statue.
A tombstone?
No, but you know how when in comics
how
superheroes die, it's
right. And they have the big statue that they do
okay. I couldn't think of the name of it, so I said tombstone.
Captain America. It's like, really? Yes. Well, that was exciting. Way to go, San Diego Comic-Con. Let's see. Ghostbusters comes out this week, so we'll finally get to see.
I am not interested.
I am. Molly, you want to see it, right? They're a Ghostbusters movie. You know, here's the crazy thing. It's still getting busted on so badly, and part of it is the trailers still are not very good. Something seems way off, but there was an early review that came out, and they said it wasn't great, but it actually was really pretty funny. Like they might have it right. They go, and the review said it doesn't match the trailers. Like whoever did the trailers doesn't get what this movie is. They picked the wrong stuff. We'll see. I don't know.
Is it going to be like The Man from U.N.C.L.E.? The trailers were amazing.
Oh, the trailers were great.
The
and then that
movie was not great.
It was terrible.
It was not great.
I make it through almost everything.
I like the movie somewhat because I like the main point of the movie.
I do too. Well, and I like Man from U.N.C.L.E. I thought this is going to be an awesome movie. I like that the trailer was really sweet. The trailer was
really great.
And I was really excited, Napoleon Dynamite and everything in it. Not Napoleon Dynamite that you know. I was really into it. Holy cow. I mean, I made it, 30 minutes? Because usually in a script, at the 20-minute mark, if you're watching a movie, you'll notice this. The 20-minute mark is really where the transition happens that propels the story. You can almost time it to 20 minutes, okay? I made it to 30 minutes in that movie, saw where it was going, and went, holy cow, I can't go any further. This is terrible. It just didn't work.
See, I haven't seen the Man from U.N.C.L.E. original TV show, right?
TV show.
So just starting out with the movie, it was okay. It was nice.
Yeah, the TV show's sweet. It's that movie. Something was wrong, man. They needed to hire a writer or something. I don't know.
The person who did the trailer, amazing.
They should have gotten that person to do the Ghostbusters trailer.
Yeah.
But Ghostbusters comes out this week.
That's
big news. Yeah, it's gonna. I hope it. I actually hope it does well because I know people are like, why are they redoing it? I'm fine with it. Redo it. Or reboot this thing or whatever you're doing to it. I'm fine. It doesn't taint what we liked.
A lot of people say don't redo movies, make up new ideas. No, I'm fine with redoing it.
I'm fine with it.
If I like the beginning story, why not try it again?
Yeah, and here's the other thing. I don't mind them building, everyone talks about building a universe. If they do 3 movies, that's not building a universe. That's doing a trilogy. Or if they get 5 movies into it, I'm fine with that. I think there's a lot of ground that they could cover with this that could be a lot of fun. I really see a vision for what Ghostbusters could be. This might not be a terrible place to start. But, man, those trailers and that song, that Missy Elliott song, what the serious heck is going on there?
See, I saw
get that Japanese group that did the Ghostbusters theme. Ghostbusters. I love it. I
saw the trailer I saw a trailer that shows the new one.
I made him uncomfortable. Did you see that?
Yeah, well, that's not hard.
Jacob's ignoring us.
I'm not surprised, Jacob.
What? Yeah. All right. What were you saying?
So, I watched a trailer for it. Shows the beginning of the Ghostbusters. I immediately skipped it because no interest.
Yeah.
Filming has begun.
Yeah, I want to see it, but I don't know, man. My hopes aren't high.
Filming has begun for Thor Ragnarok.
Yes.
I look forward to all the Marvel movies. It's been great so far.
Now, did you like the Thor movies? I did, and I know they're the ones that people like the least. I thought the first one had elements that were fantastic.
The first one I liked. The second one was okay.
See, the second one a lot of people don't like. I really like elements of the second one.
I really like the characters. The plot's not so
great. No. They need to Captain America that series.
Yes.
Thor should be a solid fantasy space opera is what they need to do.
Which is what's going to be Thor Ragnarok.
It is.
I'm glad it's not going to be on Earth. So they can
don't have us on Earth. Don't have Jane in it. Don't play around with that stuff. I don't need any of that.
See, I would be glad if they mentioned Jane in the first 10 minutes of the movie. Get it over with so I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Right. And you know what? I don't want her to go away because I wouldn't mind seeing 10 years from now a Jane as Thor because that's an awesome book. No, I really like it. I think she would make a great character. I like that evolution, but enough with that now. Let's get into space. Let's see a solid space opera Thor story.
And it's with the Hulk, right?
Yes.
Which
they keep saying it's almost like a buddy movie between the Hulk and Thor.
Which I'm fine with because those two are, if you do it right, those two are great companions.
And super powered and Well, and they've also said that, see, here's the problem. Marvel doesn't own the rights outright to do a Hulk movie, but they can do him as a secondary character.
Oh.
So that's why we're not getting World War Hulk or Planet Hulk, any of that.
Yeah.
So what they've said is on Thor Ragnarok, we're basically going to be getting that story.
Because Planet Hulk would be great with Hulk.
I think
Thor.
we're getting the Planet Hulk story in this, and then Infinity War, we're actually going to get a lot of the World War Hulk stuff coming forward. I really hope that's the case, because I think that's ripe, but as a movie on its own, it might be a little bit rough.
Because they did a Planet Hulk animated movie.
Yes. Once again, like 10 frames a second.
Yeah.
I liked the movie, but it had
I liked the movie
it had
also.
problems. The comic was so much better. I just reread the comic series, and I was like, man, I see so much potential, but I don't know about it as a film. All those weird creatures and never having a human there, that's hard for people to watch.
Oh, yeah.
So if you have that storyline going and Thor involved, it gets a lot more interesting.
You could do...
Plus, I don't want them to do it until they can get the rights to Silver Surfer because he's so important in that story. And get Doug Jones to play him. Always. Doug Jones is my Silver Surfer.
See, what could be cool is if they did the start of the movie, Hulk goes to Planet Hulk-esque place and saves the Hulk. Like, brings the Hulk away from it, so you could do a previous that leads up to it. They could do that.
That could work. Yeah. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? Ghostbusters,
I have
blah,
another
blah,
trailer.
blah.
It was not great, but...
What is it?
It was a trailer for GOAT, starring Nick Jonas and James...
I didn't watch this because I saw what it was and went,
It was Nick Jonas and James Franco.
Yeah. How was it? Not great?
Not great. It was really not good.
Boy.
It's not... It doesn't even
I
look,
like James Franco, but he...
I do.
And he's a super smart guy, but he makes
Jonas.
some weird choices, man.
Nick Jonas also is like...
I don't know how he is as an actor. I mean, you would have said that back when we first heard Marky Mark was going to be in Boogie Nights. You didn't see, not until you're older. But when it first came out that Mark Wahlberg was playing this main character in Boogie Nights, people are like, Marky Mark. He is amazing in that movie. It launched his career.
He was also great in Transformers.
That is much later. Boogie Nights is way back in the early 90s. Once again, like I was talking about with Johnny Depp, he worked with Paul Thomas Anderson. He was working with these indie, outside the mainstream film directors and building a reputation and doing solid acting. You know? And then he did an action movie that was really fun. It's called The Big Hit. If you haven't seen The Big Hit, you need to see it. It's an action movie where he's a hitman who is forced to bodyguard this guy's daughter, and it's great. It's crazy. It's such a great movie. I loved it. Can you tell? Okay, I got one.
All right.
not George Takei. He's part of the story, but it came out this week that in the new Star Trek movies, Star Trek Beyond,
Yes.
Sulu, they are just outright saying he's gay.
Correct.
And
some people have a problem with that.
Who?
Correct.
Not in this.
I think,
not in this universe.
Oh yeah, not in this universe because.
Not in this universe. And yeah. Anyway, they're making the character gay. Okay, and George Takei.
Yeah.
Came out and said he wasn't like. He was like, well, that's kind of cheap. Why didn't they use any other character? Just because I'm gay doesn't mean that, this character has to be gay.
He
but
kind of wanted someone to...
He's missing the point of this.
Yeah.
I think the fact that how long has this series been on, and this is the first gay character that is outwardly there. I'm fine with that. And having it be Sulu, I think it honors George Takei because... The fans were so accepting immediately of that, whereas when he came out, it wasn't a world where that was as accepted.
Correct.
But the Star Trek fans were like, and?
Because for me
so
right
I
now...
think by making this character this way, I think it's like, all right, we're just going to see that it's just accepted.
Because also, for me, it doesn't make that big of a difference, honestly.
How does it make any difference?
Doesn't really. It's just a nice symbolism.
If you watch that first movie, did Sulu kick butt?
Yeah.
Yes. Done.
It's so good.
He was awesome. And
Also,
I like this actor. I mean, I think this is just, to me, it's just like, you know what? Who cares? And I think George Takei just is being reactionary to that. Hopefully, or it may just be his publicist spinning it. You never know.
He also wanted, because he also did say that he wanted Simon Pegg to make a character that was gay throughout his story, and not just like, and all of a sudden, third movie, he's gay.
Yeah, but Simon Pegg didn't write the first two.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? That's the other thing. They never talked about his sexuality.
No. I
so
mean,
he could have been this whole time.
2 characters that they really talk about that kind of stuff. It's
So, you know what?
Why not?
And they had Spock, in a relationship with Uhura. That was new.
Yeah.
So I'm all right with all of it. And I hope George Takei either didn't say it or can come to grips with that and say, you know what? This actually honors what's happening here.
Which I think he will after this after they do something with that.
Yes.
That's not horrible. They're replacing Iron Man with, I forget her name in the comics. They're replacing her
with a woman,
with a black woman.
Yeah. Now is that? I didn't read the article. Is it a new character, or are they replacing him with? Here we go. Riri Williams will be taking over for Tony Stark as Iron Man. I didn't even read the article. I got all this stuff.
It's a new character, I think.
Okay. Yes, Greg Brady. I got all this stuff sent to me about it, but I didn't have a chance to read any of it. Like I said, I just started my master's this week, so I was reading like 2-3 hours a day just to stay on top of that.
Ouch.
Yeah. So, great.
Again, I'm kind of sad that I really like Tony Stark. I like his character.
Sure. Well, you know what? They're just trying different things. I think it's a little strange that their solution right now to diversity is to take every main character and make them a woman or black. That seems to be the solution. Miles Morales, Spider-Man, you know what? We have a solution. We'll make him Miles Morales. Not that I'm complaining, because Miles Morales is a great Spider-Man, and I don't mind that being in the same universe. Yeah. And this, I'm fine with it. Thor, I like the female Thor. There's a female Captain America. I like her too. I just think it's a little funny as a statement of, that is a sweet, look at that ride back there. That's crazy. I think that, I just hope that that's not just the trend. Like, we're going to take every main character and turn them into a woman or a black character.
I think they did a good job doing Green Lantern. I think they did a great job with that.
Green Lantern, there's been so many incarnations. Yes.
But like the most recent one, there's like 4 Green Lanterns, 2 of them, a black guy, and I think it's a girl, maybe? I don't know. But it's a now new girl.
I don't remember. You know what? I read more Marvel.
But I don't mind as long as it's not making the story change. Because with Young Avengers, I think it was Young Avengers. It was a group of gay kids.
Yeah, the Young Avengers?
Young Avengers. But they took that story and they made it, they forced it to be that way.
Yes.
It
was forced. Yeah, well, we talked about this before. It had that weird force thing. But you know what's funny about that book?
What?
It ended up becoming good. Because if you read some of the later stuff, because I just read some, they stopped focusing on that, just like I'm talking about with Star Trek. If you're not focusing on it, you're just making it who they are. It works so much better.
Oh, yeah. I would assume so. But
I understand that we have to over-explain or we have to over-focus. But once you get past that, you just get into the story. I read them and I'm like, well, I know who they are, but this is a great story.
Yeah.
And I think, you know what, Iron Man, I'm down with all of it.
Yeah, I also don't mind.
And the other thing is, who really cares? Because they reboot, they rechange, they have
cares?
their multiverse. Tony Stark's still out there. Thor's still out there.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's all awesome.
I assume people are scared of just like taking something and getting rid of it forever and putting something new in.
All right.
Scared of
You know what?
change.
We've had 50 years of Iron Man. I'm
Why
okay
not?
with that. I'm all right with it.
Yeah.
Bryan Cranston is going to be in, we talked about this before, in the Power Rangers movie, which I was kind of busting on, and now it keeps getting a little more and more interesting. I like the female lead in it. I can't think of her name. Elizabeth Banks is playing the Rita Repulsor character.
Repulsor?
Yeah, I don't
Like,
really care about Power Rangers, but it's getting more interesting. Now Bryan Cranston is the main bad guy, I guess. And this is what's interesting. He's been talking about it, saying the reason he took this movie is the script to him felt like this is a turn like The Dark Knight. Like he goes, this is going to be one of those movies that you go, whoa, what did I just see?
Like Avengers.
Yes.
See,
I'll have to see it to believe it because it's the friggin' Power Rangers.
I don't know a lot about the Power Rangers. I barely
Guys in
watched it
rubber
as a kid.
suits and people doing weird karate. That's about it. Okay, you know what? We're going to interrupt this podcast to talk about the biggest geek news of the week.
Oh, yeah.
An app came out called Pokemon Go.
Correct. It came out this week for
If you
US.
could see out the window here, everybody's walking down the street or sitting in the park with their phones. People in here are playing this game Pokemon Go. You know
the
what?
servers are awful. I don't know why they didn't. It's
Well,
like,
because they knew it would be big.
It's
but
like the first Star Wars movie.
this is
They
like a viral
crashed the
thing.
site.
It's exploded.
It
And
came
it's
out.
fun.
It came out in Australia and some other places
Before
last
coming out
week-
here?
last week.
So yeah, I mean they have to like to be prepared for what they'd need for the infrastructure. I'm sure no matter what they did, they weren't going to be
But
prepared.
there's going to be a lot of accidents about this app because there's now like photos. Like I'm doing this on the road while I'm driving.
You know what? I don't know if that's true. Yeah.
Correct.
What's that called? Ingress? Yeah,
Ingress.
Ingress. Yeah, if you want to come up here, Mike, grab a microphone. No, okay. That's all right. So Ingress, that's that game that Chris here plays, where you basically you walk around, you find stuff,
It's
you
the same
protect
thing as
areas.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Same servers.
But they took this same thing and they made it Pokemon. So you go and you find the creature and you capture him in the little Pokemon ball. I don't know, Pokeball. I don't know. And you go and you charge up and you get more balls here and there, and you know. It's actually a great idea to do that with. We've been walking around finding stuff. It's fun. But it's so funny. I mean, look at everybody out here has a phone in their hand doing, like, flipping through, grabbing a Pokemon, and then moving on.
Look to your left.
Right there, there's two of them. Got to catch them all. We should make a game where we take pictures of people playing Pokemon, and we have to catch them all.
No, it should
I just
be,
got these two.
It should be a video of just, we have 30 minutes, try to see how many people we can find down the road.
Yes.
And just like, that one.
Someone driving doing it?
Okay.
Security. Yes. Oh, yeah. So it's the biggest geek news of the week, though. They got everything, so now they're going to move on. Oh, look, he's hustling out of here. He's got to go to the next thing. Holy cow. A teaser poster for Deadpool 2 dropped.
Yes.
This is interesting. Now, Deadpool is owned and was released by Fox, who also does the X-Men movies. The poster is just, if you didn't see it, it's really good. It's a men's room sign, and it's got Deadpool's hand, and he vandalized it to color in on the male character, Wolverine, and then on the wheelchair character, he put an X in the wheelchair. So it's implying that the X-Men will be there, and then instead of men's room, he put an X next to the men's room thing. So we're going to get X-Men. We're going to get Wolverine and Professor Xavier in a Deadpool movie.
I like Wolverine.
I do too. Now, here's
Jackman's
the question.
Great as the actor.
But here's the question. Hugh Jackman has said he is done. I have a theory about this. We might want to mark my words. I think that by the end of this year, we are going to get the announcement that Fox and Marvel have made a deal. I think that we are going to find that out by the end of this year, that the X-Men are going to appear in Infinity War. Yes. And that is why Hugh Jackman, he will make Infinity War his final appearance as Wolverine. Because he has stated, I'm done after Wolverine 3, no more cameos, nothing. But he has also said in the same breath, I want to play Wolverine for the rest of my life. I would do anything to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Wolverine. That's how it's going to happen. They are going to get, trust me, I'm telling you, this is going to happen.
They could do that.
They are going to get the Fantastic Four back, and as part of that deal, they are going to help them fix this X-Men thing that is good and terrible all at once.
Doesn't need to be fixed, though.
It does need to be fixed.
I like
it does need to be fixed.
I liked Apocalypse.
I know, but it needs to be fixed. They have a timeline issue. They can, when Infinity War happens, it can clean that entire thing. They have a new slate they can work with. They can use the same actors, or they can recast. They can do whatever they want at that point. But Hugh Jackman can now step out of the role of Wolverine after the Infinity War storyline.
Yes.
That's what is going to happen.
But they might wait until they did Wolverine 3, and then they might try to make the deal with that.
I would doubt Deadpool will make it into Infinity War. But Wolverine, Professor X, and a couple of key X-Men.
And I don't think it should.
Mark my words.
I don't think Deadpool should be with like Marvel and stuff.
No,
I'm
he
glad
can't
it's
be.
its own separate property. Just leave it alone.
He can't be. So there you go.
I want Dragon, though. I want Dragon kind of like a replacement for Wolverine. X-23 and Dragon.
That'd be awesome. Let's see. What else did we not get here? Because we're running out of time. Mainly because of Jacob here, just yakking it up. Jacob, no reaction.
No.
Let's see. More Ghostbusters, more Daniel Radcliffe. The Witch came out, more Squirrel Girl. Let's see. Did we miss anything? I mean, there's not that much.
I don't think I missed anything. I went through some stuff, some magic news, not a lot of big stuff. The full, complete list of spoilers came out for Eldritch Moon, which is the newest magic set.
Edward's Magic Corner. We're doing one?
Well, sure.
It's come open to Edward's Magic Corner. Go ahead.
The full spoilers release for Eldritch Moon, which is coming out July 22nd as a release. A week before, they usually have a pre-release at Magic stores of just a draft or a sealed play or anything like that.
All right.
Interesting.
Awesome.
I really like the new set. I think they did a great job with some people and some others not so much.
Not so much. I will tell you, Edward, I'm working on it. I'm working on a surprise. I'm trying to get a person who is an artist for the Magic cards to come in and be a guest here.
Okay.
So, little surprise for Edward's Magic Corner.
Gosh.
You don't even care. Saw, there's a new Saw movie coming. Anyone watch the Saw movies? Yeah, really, man. I watched the first couple. I actually kind of liked the mythology of it, but I didn't really watch through. The torture thing is a little boring. I like the idea of the first one. I thought that was kind of unique, but it's all right. But a new Saw movie's coming. Let's see. What else? That can't be it. Spider-Man picture came out. It looks like he's wearing felt. I thought that was a little weird. Kiefer Sutherland is going to be in a Flatliners remake.
Okay.
So we'll see if that's any good, but I like Kiefer. I like Flatliners. So there we go. Michael's seal of approval. It's one of his favorites. We talked about Jerry Lewis. He's important, of course, right? Steven Spielberg is getting back into the alien business because, he just can't get enough.
Money, that is.
Amblin is making a movie called The Fall. And when you read the description of it, It's a husband and wife. They've been divorced. There's an alien invasion. They're separated. They got to get back. They're trying to work through for their family through the alien invasion. First of all, it could be fun, could be good. It's Spielberg. I always like his stuff. But when I read the description, I got this feeling of being Spielberg's War of the Worlds. Did you see that one with Tom Cruise? Divorced dad. He's separated from his kids. He's got to fight aliens. And it's like, you know what? I like that movie.
I didn't get through that movie.
But this seems like, I like it. But it seems like the same thing. You know what's funny about that movie? It's actually a really good movie. But the ending is where people were like, eh. The ending is the actual ending from the book. But in today's world, it's a little predictable, a little boring. We're losing audience to Pokemon Go right now. They are Pokemon going out of the room.
Boo.
Yeah.
That was bad.
That was terrible.
I died a little bit on the inside.
All right. Are we done?
There's nothing. I'm done.
That's it. Well, this was fun, Edward.
Yes.
I had a good time with you. We didn't have those two jamokes chiming in the whole time. So thank you for listening, everybody. Thank you. That was it for This Week in Geek. Thank you, Blue Box. We'll be back next week.